All right, so with us today we have Timothy Coombs and Holladay, authors of many books and scientific articles about PR, dealing with topics such as activism, social media, and risk management. Currently working at Texas A&M University. You two have traveled quite a long way to be with us here today. How do you feel today?
Wonderful. We're very excited. Yes, very excited to be here.
Yeah, not jet lagged at all. So it's energizing to be here around here.
All right, good, lovely. All right, so could you just very briefly give us a review of what you were talking about today, just with a few words?
Okay, I'll start since I went first in the presentation. In my part, I was talking about how do we think about these new relationships in the digital environment between the organization and stakeholder, and how is that really changing, and how too often we're being sold that this is massively different, but it's not that different, and trying to put it in perspective, particularly with the notion that they want to really force dialogue on us, thinking we need to be dialogic, we need to be really highly interactive, when that's really not the case. There's this paradigm of a parasocial relationship that works much better to explain that this very limited interaction and still between organizations and stakeholders that work very well in social media to build those weaker type of relationships.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a very good point. If you think about it, we really just don't have time to have intense interpersonal relationships with all the organizations that we interact with, right? We have so many demands in our in-person relationships. Why would we want to extend that to every organization with whom we have interaction? So it makes sense to think about the organizational relationships as parasocial. Now, there occasionally is a time when we want to interact with an organization. Let's say we're unhappy and we want to protest them or something like that, and we might try to get a response from them, but oftentimes we just are answering a question that they pose online, and we don't expect them to get back to us about, oh, we love your answer. We just post our opinions.
Express ourselves. I find that very refreshing, your take on it. This whole, dialogue isn't necessary, it's a potential. But it's fascinating. I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit more about the parasocial relationship and what that is? That was very fascinating what you were talking about.
Yeah, the parasocial relationship actually sort of came out of entertainment. It was what they found that the people had these relationships with characters on television.
Right.
So they would talk about like their friends, and so you would hear them in passing. And I've had that happen before. I'll hear two people talking, oh, something happened to their friend, and it's, oh no, it's like a television character they're talking about. And so they have this. Now people know that it's not a real relationship, but they feel like it is, like they know them and that they're friends. And that transfers over with social media with corporations. And that's what corporations do. It's all, parasocial is very one-sided. So the organization puts out messages and people kind of follow and consume it, and they might respond to it, but the organization doesn't respond back, but they still feel they're in that relationship.
Right.
And that's what kind of makes it it's like a relationship, so it's parasocial. It's like a social relationship, but it's not really a social relationship.
And you made the argument that that's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, because an organization draws a lot of benefits from those weak relationships facilitated through this parasocial interaction, because many of the benefits we attribute to a real social relationship you can achieve through the parasocial.
Right. So could you guys give me an example, or maybe several, of some organizations, one or several organizations that you feel use social media in a good way, strategically? You brought up one, didn't you? Airlines.
Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
And I think they do a really good job with their social media internally with their employees, as well as externally with stakeholders. They're very responsive. If a customer has a complaint and they tweet it, they do have designated members of staff who survey the tweets to try to respond to customer complaints. And interestingly, a lot of customers think that if they tweet their customer complaint, they will get a response. And Southwest Airlines is one that tends to be responsive. I can bet money that the major carriers like American are not going to do that.
Yeah, and Southwest has a very interesting sort of, they'll set out their whole calendar for the year for social media so they know what's going on in the blog, what's going on in Twitter, and they'll integrate in not only management comments, but they'll integrate in average employees as well, have them come in, do tweets, do something on a blog, and they also look at how all those messages fit with larger organizational goals. So they layer strategy into their social media as well. So if you talk to someone from Southwest, they know why they're on Twitter, they know why there's a blog, they know why there's a Facebook, they know exactly what they're trying to get out of those from the groups they're trying to reach, and part of it is their own employees, but then their customers as well, and probably investors too, to a degree. But they have a very strong strategic focus that drives that social media.
Well, I feel like this has been a lovely start to the conference. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.